I need to brief you on a developing weather situation that has crossed from a possibility into a high probability event. We are tracking what could become one of the most significant winter storms to impact the East Coast in years, followed immediately by an Arctic outbreak of historic proportions. The confidence in this forecast has increased substantially over the last 48 hours. Over 100 million people are in the path of this system. This is not speculation. This is a serious weather event that requires your immediate attention and preparation. Let me start with the storm system itself. We have been monitoring two distinct pieces of energy across North America. The first is a clipper system diving southeast out of the northern plains toward the Great Lakes. The second is a wave of energy ejecting northeast out of the southern stream near the Gulf Coast. These two systems are going to phase together off the mid-Atlantic coast late Friday night into Saturday. When that happens, we expect rapid intensification. The meteorological term for this process is bombogenesis. That means the central pressure of the storm will drop at least 24 millibars in 24 hours. This is a scientifically defined threshold, not hype. When a storm undergoes bombogenesis, it becomes what we call a bomb cyclone. This term sounds dramatic, but it is a real meteorological classification used in forecasting and research. The most recent model guidance is showing central pressure values bottoming out between 965 and 970 millibars by Saturday afternoon. To give you context, that pressure is equivalent to a strong Category 2 hurricane. The difference is, this will be a winter storm. All that energy will manifest as heavy snowfall, damaging winds, and coastal impacts rather than tropical characteristics. This is going to be an intense system. The probability maps for this event have been evolving rapidly. Earlier this week, when we first started seeing signals for a potential East Coast storm, the probabilities for significant snowfall along the I-95 corridor were around 15%. That was enough to put it on the radar, but not enough to warrant high confidence. As of this morning, those probabilities have jumped to 25 to 30% in the highest confidence zones. That is a substantial increase. It tells me the models are converging on a similar solution. When multiple independent forecast systems start agreeing, confidence goes up. That is exactly what is happening here. The highest confidence zone right now is the corridor from Raleigh, North Carolina through Richmond, Virginia, and extending to the Virginia Beach area. This region has the best combination of factors for a major snow event. Cold air is locked in place across the interior. The storm track is favorable for bringing Gulf moisture directly into this area. The timing allows for maximum snowfall accumulation before any potential changeover to other precipitation types. If this storm tracks as currently modeled, this corridor could see 8 to 14 inches of snow. Some localized areas could exceed 1.5 feet. I am not committing to those exact totals yet because we are still several days out, but the pattern strongly supports significant accumulation in this zone. Moving north from there, the threat extends through Maryland, the District of Columbia, Delaware, southern New Jersey, and the Philadelphia metropolitan area. These locations are also showing a robust snow signal. The national blend of models, which aggregates data from multiple forecast systems including the GFS, the European model, the Canadian model, and several others, is consistently showing measurable to significant snow for this entire region. The high-end scenario in the current NBM output shows approximately 8 inches for Washington, D.C., 6 inches for Philadelphia, 4 to 5 inches for New York City, and 10 inches for Boston. These are not forecasts. These are probability-weighted averages based on the current model envelope. Actual totals will depend on the exact track of the storm, and small shifts will matter. Let me talk about the model guidance in more detail because understanding what the models are showing will help you understand the forecast. The GFS model has been consistently aggressive with this system. It has been keeping the storm track closer to the coast, which maximizes snowfall for the I-95 corridor from North Carolina through southern New England. The European model has also been showing a significant storm, but it has been trending slightly further offshore in recent runs. That would reduce totals for cities like Philadelphia and New York, but could still produce heavy snow for areas further south and inland. The key point is that both major global models agree this will be a high-impact event. The disagreement is in the details, not in the existence of the threat. The reason this storm has the potential to produce such significant snowfall is the cold air mass that is already in place. Right now, there is a deep trough of cold air extending from the northern plains through the Ohio Valley, the Great Lakes, and into the northeast. This cold air is locked in. It is not going anywhere. Surface temperatures across much of the interior northeast and mid-Atlantic are already well below freezing. Many locations are seeing temperatures in the teens and single digits. This cold air will act as a foundation for the storm. When the moisture arrives Friday night and Saturday, it will fall as snow across a very large area. There will be minimal risk of rain or sleet mixing in for most inland locations. The cold air is simply too entrenched. One of the aspects of this storm that concerns me most is the wind. When a storm undergoes bombogenesis, it generates a very tight pressure gradient. That pressure gradient drives wind. We are expecting sustained winds of 30 to 45 miles per hour along the coast from North Carolina through New Jersey and into southern New England. Gusts could easily reach 55 to 65 miles per hour, especially in exposed coastal areas, across the Outer Banks, along the Delmarva Peninsula, and across Cape Cod and the islands. When you combine those wind speeds with heavy snowfall rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour, you get blizzard conditions. Visibility will drop to near zero. Whiteout conditions will make travel extremely dangerous or impossible. Drifting will be severe. Even after the snow stops falling, blowing snow will continue to create hazardous conditions for hours or even days afterward. There is also a significant coastal flooding concern. The strong onshore winds associated with this storm will drive water toward the coast during multiple high tide cycles. We are expecting minor to moderate coastal flooding from the Outer Banks of North Carolina through the Virginia coast, across the Delmarva Peninsula, and into southern New Jersey. Water levels could run 2 to 3 feet above normal during the Saturday morning and Saturday afternoon high tides. This is not a catastrophic surge like you would see with a hurricane, but it is enough to cause flooding in low-lying areas, damage to dunes and beaches, and potential overwash in vulnerable locations. Let me give you the timeline for this storm, because timing is critical for preparation. Tonight through early Friday, we will see the initial setup begin. Light snow will develop across the Ohio Valley and the Appalachian Mountains as the Clipper moves through. This is just the appetizer. The main event begins Friday night. By Friday evening, snow will begin to overspread the Carolinas and Virginia. It will spread north into Maryland and Delaware late Friday night. By early Saturday morning, heavy snow will be falling from North Carolina all the way through southern New England. The peak intensity is expected Saturday during the day. Snowfall rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour are likely in the heaviest bands. Some locations could see bursts of 3 inches per hour if everything comes together. By Saturday evening, the storm will begin pulling away to the northeast. Snow will taper from south to north Saturday night into Sunday morning. Most areas will be dry by Sunday afternoon. Now let me shift to what happens after the storm. Behind this system, an Arctic air mass of exceptional intensity will surge south and east across the entire eastern half of the United States. This is not just cold. This is record-threatening cold that will persist for days. The cold air currently over the northern plains is already producing wind chills of 40 to 60 degrees below zero in parts of North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. That same air mass will reload as additional Arctic air pours south from Canada, and then it will dive southeast toward the Gulf Coast. By Sunday morning, temperatures across the southeast will crash. Atlanta could wake up to 15 degrees. Charlotte and Raleigh will likely see temperatures in the low to mid-teens. Richmond could drop into the single digits. Wind chills will be near or below zero across a widespread area from northern Florida through the Carolinas and into Virginia. By Monday, the core of the coldest air settles over the mid-Atlantic and the Ohio Valley. Morning lows will be near or below zero in many locations. Pittsburgh could drop to 5 below zero. Harrisburg could see 3 below. Charleston, West Virginia could approach 10 below zero. Wind chills across this entire region will be 20 to 30 degrees below zero. These are dangerous, life-threatening values. Frostbite can occur on exposed skin in less than 10 minutes. Hypothermia becomes a real risk for anyone spending extended periods outdoors or in unheated structures. What makes this Arctic outbreak particularly alarming is how far south it penetrates. The freezing line pushes into central and southern Florida by early next week. Orlando could see low 30s on multiple mornings. Jacksonville and Tallahassee likely upper 20s. Even Miami could approach 40 degrees with wind chills in mid to upper 30s. For a region where infrastructure is not designed for sustained freezing, this creates serious risks. This cold is also going to be prolonged. High temperatures Monday across the mid-Atlantic, Ohio Valley, and Southeast will struggle to reach freezing. Many areas remain in the 20s all day. Any snow or ice from the weekend storm will not melt. Roads impassable Saturday will still be impassable Tuesday. Bridges and overpasses particularly dangerous. Tuesday similarly cold. Wednesday offers minimal relief. Not until Thursday or Friday will we see meaningful moderation, and even then, only toward normal. I need to address something critical. Hundreds of thousands remain without power across Tennessee, Mississippi, Arkansas, and Louisiana from the ice storm earlier this month. Some areas have been without electricity for over a week. Crews are working non-stop, but damage was extensive. Now these regions face another round of life-threatening cold. For someone without heat in a house at 35 to 40 degrees inside, facing outdoor temps in the teens with wind chills below zero, this is deadly. The death toll has exceeded 60 people. Hypothermia, carbon monoxide poisoning, vehicle accidents. This number will rise. One of the deadliest cold events in recent years. Check on neighbors, especially elderly or those alone. Ensure they have heat, food, water. If without power, help find shelter. Check isolated family. Bring pets inside. Provide outdoor animals shelter and unfrozen water. Pipes will freeze and burst, especially in the deep south. Water mains, plumbing, irrigation, fire systems all at risk. Burst pipes cause tens of thousands in damage. Protect plumbing now. Let faucets drip overnight. Open cabinet doors for warm air. Disconnect and drain outdoor hoses. Insulate exposed pipes. Know your shutoff location. Agriculture across the deep south will take a major hit. The freeze will damage citrus, vegetables, and strawberries. Hundreds of millions in losses. Friday night into Saturday, major storm. Heavy snow, high winds, coastal flooding, totals 6 to 12 inches, local 15 plus. Blizzard conditions. Saturday night, Arctic air. Sunday through Wednesday, dangerous cold, 25 to 40 below normal. Freeze to Florida. Over 60 deaths. Hundreds of thousands without power. Check neighbors. Protect pipes. Prepare. Stay safe.